We are 1 day out from competition. What's going on, guys? Hope you are well wherever you are, whatever the time, and welcome to the 1 day out vlog. Hope you are all good. So, this morning, fullness has been acquired, which is very good. Job done on that front. I woke up at 94.9 kilos, so up 0.5 kilos from yesterday, which I'm really happy about, to be honest with you. I did still want to see that increase in scale weight. I did want to chase a little bit more fullness, which I've definitely got from these photos. So I'm really happy with that. Honestly, to the point where I could probably push fullness a little bit more. If I had a few more days, I think I could get fuller because my condition really isn't fading. And I think that is massively down to just not seeing ridiculously huge jumps in body weight over a period of time. So at my flattest, I was 93.2 on the Tuesday and then started loading. And then I've only gone up 2.7 kilos. And that's since Tuesday. And we're now on Saturday, right? So it's been relatively slow. I haven't seen like 1 kilo jumps every single day. It's been pretty slow. And obviously, that first day of loading, there wasn't an increase in scale weight. So I think you've also got to bear in mind, as I've said in the last two vlogs, when it comes to loading glycogen, it's not going to happen immediately. It's not going to happen straight away. You got to understand that it takes time for glycogen to load, which again is almost why I'm a bit like rapid backload almost doesn't really make sense, because you're probably going to end up looking better 1 or 2 days after that. So yeah, but plan of action for today. So I've got the fullness that I want. I'm not going to be chasing any more fullness. Now the objective is just about holding this look or around about. And when somebody says that, right, when somebody says hold the look, it doesn't mean hold this exact look and this exact body weight, because in terms of being able to do that, it's pretty damn impossible, right? Like to hold the exact same body weight, same look on the next day. But it's just a case of making sure that my body weight doesn't either escalate too much or drop down too much. That's really the objective here. Okay, so what I'm going to do today with my food is actually drop down to my rest day food as a baseline. So my rest day food is 170 grams of carbs with 70 grams of fat and about 250, 60-ish grams of protein. Okay, and what I'm going to do throughout the day is I'm going to eat to this plan. I'm going to have most of my carbohydrates in the day, eat to this plan, but I'm going to keep an eye on the scale because I want the scale to read around 96.5 kilos before I go to bed. If I'm not nearing that, so if I get to like meal 3, 4, and my body weight is reading like 94s or 95s, I'll increase the food a little bit, right? Just to ensure that I'm waking up around the body weight that I want to on show day, which for me, which I think will be a really tight and full look, will be somewhere between 94.5 and 94.7-ish, 7, 8 kilos, around about there. Like really somewhere in like the mid to high 94s. Okay, so for me to get there, I know what I need to weigh in the evening, how much water I need to drink, and how much sodium I need to really have or add to my meals. So that's the baseline food today. I would rather have my food low, and then I can always add more things in, right? If I just crank my food up or have damn near 600 grams of carbs again today, and then I spill over tomorrow, I've then got to correct that on show day, and that's stress. I don't want to spill over. I don't need to spill over. I'm in good shape. I've just pushed the fullness dial a little bit, so we're full now. I haven't spilled, but now it's just a case of making sure that I maintain this level of, or this look, basically. And so essentially, that's the game plan today. In terms of what I'm doing with sodium and water, that stays exactly the same. And honestly, for most people, you don't need to manipulate really your water or your sodium really until, if you want to play with that, you really want to play with it pretty acutely. So we're talking like the day before and or on show day. If you want to manipulate things, so if you want to go through a process of like water loading and then cutting back water a little bit, not completely getting rid of it, but cutting back water a little bit to try and achieve a bit more of a drier look and push for diuresis. You need to have really done a practice run on that. Like, you can't just go through that process and just expect something magic will happen. Um, I think for most people, a safe bet is to keep your water exactly where it is, your sodium exactly where it is, and then pre-stage, increasing your sodium if need be. For me, I probably won't need to increase my sodium pre-stage because yesterday during my upper body pump session, on just normal food that I had yesterday, normal sodium, my pump was immaculate. My vascularity was great. I felt like I could pose really well. And then me adding sodium into the mix, or more sodium pre-stage, can increase my chance of sweating, can increase my chance of holding a little bit more water on stage. And if I know that I look good just having my normal sodium, why do I need to push that even more? So a lot of this really comes down to just not getting ridiculously greedy. And with water as well, that stays the same. I do though, I do like high water intake. I do like high water. Like, I don't think, I think, I do think there's merit. I haven't worked it out yet. I haven't worked out why yet. There's no science backing this. I do think taking in a high amount of water does help in terms of just not holding as much water. So taking in your 5, 6, 7 liters of water, I think is really good. I found benefit from having a little bit more water in my diet. So potentially getting your water a few weeks beforehand to a higher place and then aiming to just keep that water consistent could be a good idea as well for a lot of people. But again, that's just what's worked for me and what I found has worked for me as well. I found that a lot of my clients who do have very high water intakes, so someone like Alex, for example, he's naturally very dry. There is a genetic component to that, but he's drinking 9 liters of water a day. And you don't have to go that high, right? But I've noticed a trend with the volume of water that some people drink and that dryish look. But that's just, again, my opinion and what I've found. So no cardio today. Steps are still going to be at 10,000. That's not going to change. I am going to have an extra cup of coffee to help the process of just dropping a little bit more water if need be, because then if I do wake up a little bit flat on show day, I can obviously just make a few manipulations on that day, but coffee does help get rid of a little bit of water. I'm going to keep my water the same, as I said, sodium's going to be the same. But yeah, there's going to be no supplements involved. I think for the next show though, I will actually trial Peak Max. So after this show, I'll then get back into a little bit more fat loss, a tiny bit, and I'll do a practice peak probably again within 2 or 3 weeks, just to see how my body responds to Peak Max, and if it enhances the look even more. I was tempted to try it for this peak, but it would have just been too risky because I haven't used it before. So yeah, we'll give it a go for the next competition. But yeah, other than that, today I need to get a trim and I need to do check-ins. I need to edit. I need to make sure that this video is scheduled for tomorrow because I've got a busy day tomorrow. I'm not really going to be able to edit in the morning, so I need to make sure that it is ready tonight. So I probably won't show you my late evening, but I'll update you on show day what I done late at night, if that makes sense, if I added any more food or whatnot. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of editing today. I've got client check-ins today as well. I'm going to be moving my Sunday client check-ins to Monday, so I need to inform those clients as well that they'll just get a response on Monday as opposed to the Sunday, which I do typically like to respond to clients on the same day because it gets the plan moving quicker, in my opinion. I don't think a coach should be leaving it more than 24 hours to respond to a check-in. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, we got quite a busy day ahead of us, but I'm really happy with the look. I'm really happy with how this peak has gone. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to be honest with you. So yeah, make sure you keep up with today. If you haven't, like the video, and I'll see you a little bit later. Right, Meal number one. I feel like my hair is. Look how long my hair is. Look at that. That is ridiculous. So yesterday's video will be ready to go. It is uploading obviously at 12, same time. So that's been all sorted this morning. Got back to a few clients as well. Now it's time for meal number one. So let me show you what I'm working with here. So typical kind of rest day meal for me, 50 grams of oats. We have 60 grams of whey, so protein's up. We have 15 grams of raisins, 50 grams of berries, 15 grams of almond butter, cinnamon. So that is going to be the first meal of the day and the meal before the trim, where we get this all sharpened up. But yeah, my hair is very long. I don't know what I'm going to do with these bits because they're basically in my eyes. Anyway, I'm actually, in terms of appetite, I'm actually feeling all right today. I think because I've been eating such a decent amount of food over the past 3 days, I'm almost welcoming this rest day food. But at the same time, I know that as soon as I eat this meal, I'll get hungry. I've been all right because I've had coffee and I've been working and busy. As soon as those first set of carbs go in, yeah. But gonna get this trim, and then head back, finish off the check-ins for the day, and upload a reel to Instagram. And that's going to be most of the day. And I need to just make sure that I'm packed and prepared for tomorrow. When Bryony comes back, we'll probably touch up my tan real quick, maybe before I go to sleep, or in the morning, we'll just have a look at things. But pretty much tomorrow, it'll just be a case of waking up, doing a fasted check-in, and then going. We don't really want to be messing about. We'll be leaving here just before 6. Registration tomorrow is at 9:30, and then they're also going to be doing my top coat of tan at 8:45. So that's the game plan, and then it's just a case of pump up and showtime. So yeah, anyway, let me eat this and I'll see you once I got the old trim done. There we go. Look at that. We're a little bit fresher, a little bit cleaner. We are ready for show day. We're back for meal number 2, which I've made an alteration to. So I've increased the amount of food in meal number 2, just because I was actually feeling a little bit flatter after meal 1. Came back, weighed myself, it was 95.4 kilos. And I do want my body weight a little bit higher than that. So I'm going to try and just, again, make sure that my body weight is comfortably in the 96s, and I'm also feeling that fullness. I don't want to lose that feeling of fullness throughout the day. So that's why I've increased the amount of food in this next meal. So rather than going with my typical rest day food, I'm essentially doing exactly the same meal 1 as what I've been doing in my carb up process, which is going to be the cream of rice meal, which you will have already known by now. And really the plan with that is to get it down, wait a couple of hours, so do some work, wait a couple of hours, make sure I'm still taking in my water. I'm 3 litres down at the minute, but make sure I'm still taking my water, and then take some photos, weigh myself again. I really want to see myself into the 96s, and then I'll just take in a normal carb meal as I would on my rest day. So it will likely be like a mince and rice meal. Same process again. Wait maybe an hour. Check body weight again. If we're dipping a little bit too low, then I'll increase food. Because I spoke to Adam this morning, right? I sent him some photos, and I'm definitely full. But I'm waking up really dry. I'm not waking up watery, which for me is like in the past, when I've previous years, when I've carb loaded, I have been quite watery when I've been obviously spilled over or when I've just put in more food. But it's not really happened this time. So yeah, I am confident that I'm not really close to spilling over. So if I need to push the lever a bit with food today, I will, just to make sure that I'm not flat on stage, because my physique flat is not very good. yeah, we're just making sure that that doesn't happen because I don't really want to have to eat that much on show day. I want to be able to have a little bit of food, like maybe one normal size meal, but then just rice cakes and topping up if I need to, and then mostly just water, to be honest. So, yeah, that is the game plan with this meal. But it's all coming together. We've got the trim now, although I need to get my hair cut. I need to get the ends cut. They're so long. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'll show you this meal once it's all ready to go. Okay, meal number 2 then. So we have, let me show you, spin it around. We got the cream of rice bowl that I've been having on my high carb days. So just 125 grams of ground rice, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 30 grams of whey, so a little bit less protein. Raisins, 15 grams, one bagel thin with 20 grams of jam. And of course, your 3 grams of salt. So I'm going to put these up because that's better. So, yeah, just to make sure that I'm not running too flat today, I want to make sure that I'm full when I wake up full as well. So, we'll obviously, as I said, see how my body weight sits in a few hours. I'll take some photos, see how I look, and go from there. Yeah, also watching the Two Bros event that's happening today. AJ won his class, big up him. I think a guy called Creed won his pro card. He looks absolutely insane. And I think Prosper won his pro card as well in classic physique. So congrats to them. But yeah, anyway, gonna eat this and then get on with some work. I'm back. I am back. So this is how quickly things can change during a peak week, right? So as I said, well, not during the entire week, but during this last day before show day. So as I said this morning, it was a case of just kind of seeing how things go on my baseline food and then adjusting as I go, making sure that my body weight is getting close to the 96s or sitting in the 96s before I go to bed. So I done some check-in photos, and these check-in photos were at 95.8 kilos. This is just before I'm about to have my third meal. So really happy with these shots, really happy with the fullness. As I said, I want to make sure that I sit in the 96s so that when I wake up, I'm in the 94s. But this is a really good look. 95.8 is a, yeah, I was really happy. I was also really happy with my condition, considering I'm not under stage lighting. I haven't got any glaze. Yes, I'm a little bit tanned. Well, darker than what I currently am, but I'm really happy with this look. But I'm going to bump up my food for this next meal and throw in another 100 grams of carbs. I think, in fact, let me just double check. So with making this change to this food, if I keep to my standard baseline calories for the day, it essentially puts me at 315 grams of carbs for the day. So nothing excessive. But for this meal, I'm going to put in 100 grams of ground rice, 100 grams of uncooked white rice. So it'll be 300 grams of cooked white rice. Mince, I'm going to drop the mince down to 125 grams raw weight. So it will be about 90 grams cooked weight. And then I'm going to add in a squares bar. So I'm going to put in one of these squares bars. So that'll put the total carbs for the meal at 100 grams of carbs. And then obviously just keep my water the same. So that's not going to change. And I'm currently on about 4 liters of water for the day. So I still need to drink about 2.5 more liters. Yeah, about 2.5 more liters. Quick maths. And then, yeah, as I said, just making sure that I'm getting towards that body weight goal. I'll put up a video of what I looked like literally just now. But yeah, just been ticking off some work, running through check-ins. They're almost done. I've just got about 4 more to do. So nice and easy. A lot of people making progress. One of my guys, Connor, who will be watching this video, just brought him out of his fat loss phase because he doesn't need to push any further. He's not looking to compete this year, so we don't need to push his conditioning much more. Performance is good in the gym, but we're starting to see kind of negative signs of dieting, which aren't necessary right now because he's not competing right now. So we're ending his pre-prep diet and going into a short growth phase, and then he'll be competing next year. So his prep will start next year, which is exciting. His prep will start end of Feb, start of March time. And then we've got Simon, who we are now on week 4 of working together, looking epic. Again, it's a guy that I'm really pushing him in terms of how lean we're getting in this phase. But his performance is going so well, and he's not seeing any signs of kind of diet fatigue or just high hunger signaling or anything like that. So we're going to keep pushing him a bit more, because the more I can push him, the longer we can grow for. Like, the leaner I can get him, the longer we can grow. But his dieting phase won't really last much longer than what it is now, because he is pretty lean. So not stage lean, but leaner than what a lot of people typically get when they're just going for a standard fat loss phase. Yeah, I'm going to sit down, and then I'm also going to give you a review of this squares bar. So, meal 3. Let's get into it. We have squares bar. We also have 300 grams cooked weight rice, 90 grams cooked weight mince, 3 grains of salt, no sauce, plain. Let's give this a go. Honeycomb and chocolate. Bryony thought it was mid. Her taste buds are going to be a little bit different to mine currently, so it's so close. The cornflakes one is still the best one. It's almost there, but it's almost too similar to the chocolate caramel one. The best one is still the cornflakes one. So, and I just like the plain marshmallow one as well. But all right, we're back for meal number 4, which again has needed to be altered. So, a couple of hours, about 2.5 hours since I had my last meal. Checked the scale. I was 96 kilos exactly, so only 0.2 kilos up from my last meal. Done a round of posing again. Look really good. I look full. I look good, but as I said, I want to land comfortably into those 96s before the end of the night. So I bumped up this food again. This meal would typically just be on my rest day: 4 bacon medallions, 3 whole eggs, and a couple of kiwis, or 1 kiwi. Someone was in my garden just then. But because of my body weight, I have increased the carbs, and I'm just using a meal that I used on one of my refeed days, but just with a little bit more carbohydrate. So I've got 125 grams of Rice Krispies here. Let me show you, with less protein. So here we got just 1 egg, 1 whole egg, and 2 bacon medallions, and then we got the Rice Krispies here, just with 250 ml of semi-skimmed milk. So that's going to go in, and then I've got 1 more meal to eat, which I'll eat a little bit later than what I normally do. At the minute, that meal is down as just chicken. Because of my rest day, I just have a chicken salad to finish the night. So I'll see where this puts my body weight in a couple of hours. If it gets me to 96.5, perfect. I'll probably just have the chicken salad. Maybe put a tiny bit of carbs with that, so maybe have a couple of rice cakes or a squares bar. But if my body weight's where it needs to be, it doesn't need to be anything dramatic. If we're only hovering at like the 96.2, I'll put in another big meal. So I'll probably put in another 100 grams of carbs before I go to sleep, and then see where we land in the morning. But today's been a little bit more dynamic, right? Like, as I said this morning, we just kind of see how the day goes and how the look is developing and what my body weight is doing. But as more food is going in, like, I'm not getting horrendously softer or losing tons of detail, which is really good. Especially at this time of the day, like, I'm on my 4th meal. I'm still seeing the detail that I need to see. So yeah, all is well, to be honest with you. I just ideally don't want to have to take in this much on show day. So yeah, we are pushing for a bit more fullness. Anyway, I'm going to close the video out here, and then if I do make any changes to my final meal, I'll update you tomorrow because I need to edit this video tonight. So I really appreciate the support on the videos over the past few days. Honestly, it's great to see. And if you are competing at the PCA Natural Show, all the best as well. If you are competing this weekend, or if you just have an upcoming show, I wish you all the best as well. As I said, these daily vlogs are going to keep rolling through, regardless of whether or not I'm on a peak week. So keep supporting, liking the videos. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you for the next one. Show day tomorrow.